Let's talk about this pre-order DLC for Alien Isolation. Apparently, people who pre-order the Nostromo edition of the game get two DLC missions that are based on the first Alien movie. First one is titled Crew Expendable, which is at the very beginning of the movie after the guy dies from the chest burster, and the second one is based on like the pretty much the climax of the film called Last Survivor, which allows you to pretty much play that whole section where Ripley's trying to prevent the self-destruct sequence of the ship. So
Yeah.
that being said, did anybody else here that went to E3 with me? Did you get a chance to play the game when you were over there?
No, I didn't play.
I saw it play.
Okay, I think I was the only one who got to play it then.
I played it. I
Oh, you
played it.
All
I
right.
got something to say about the game.
So,
Game is incredibly difficult from what I played.
oh yeah.
Very challenging. It felt like it was a survival horror game because I recall that I was able to use the fire blower, but it ran out very quickly. So it's a little bit of strategy as well because you can't just go up to the alien and kill it. And they said that is the only alien that's in the game.
That's how it should be.
It's very much true to the formula of how the Alien franchise is, because again, they're going back to the original movie
I was
done by
gonna say
Ridley
this
Scott.
should be a good thing then if there's only one then, because then it's just like the original film.
Yeah, exactly. And it's cool that, again, you're going to be able to play these missions that are based off exactly from the original film, and they're getting all the original actors to do the voice work for the characters. So you got Sigourney Weaver as Ripley and all the other people that were on that original movie, which is very, very cool.
That is awesome. I didn't get behind Aliens before. I think we mentioned it in a previous podcast because Colonial Marines kind of left a really, really, really sour taste in my mouth. But I watched the trailer for Aliens Isolation, and then I knew the info about the one alien. I may be purchasing this on day one.
The thing is, I feel, yeah, you got to pre-order that in order to get that DLC. But what I was going to say was that I kind of feel that the whole way that Aliens, the sequel with multiple aliens, and like the way that James Cameron made that movie, that sequel, could still be done well. Or at least the same type of approach done well in a gaming world. Just Aliens, Colonial Marines just kind of dropped the ball big time with that. Yeah. I still think a developer, after this one's successful, I still want them to go back and still try to at least get another attempt to do something similar to, again, like where you're a team dealing with multiple aliens that are on, a certain area winner, because I think that could be awesome.
Yeah. Don't make it a shooter though.
No, I think it could still be done good and well as a shooter, though. It doesn't have to be survival horror. I still think that that's still there. That's, a gold mine that still needs to be harvested.
They don't need to cater to that crowd. Stick to what you're good at. It is a survival horror situation. It should be a slow-paced survival fright, around corners kind of situation. I don't think it should be an action-intensive shooter with waves of aliens and whatnot.
But I still think it could work well as that, though. I still think that, despite that, because, again, I think we're all saying that now because of the sour taste that Colonial Marines did for us. But I think, if you put that in the hands of another developer outside of, 2K or whatnot, or Gearbox, we'll definitely get something that I think will really work well for that.
Well, put it like this. Is it better that we get... with it in the hand of a new developer, is it better that we get a shooter they try to do what was already done and they improve that formula, or we get the slow burner and get a survival horror multiplayer game?
I think. Okay, what were we gonna say?
I was just gonna say I can for the most part agree with Jake. I think even from the same developer, I think you can have two different types of game feels that are polar opposites and yet still true to quality. I hate to bring it up, just for the sake of bringing it up, but actually, truth be told, I don't really hate it that much. But if you look at Dead Space 1 and 2, those are both done by Visceral. They're both really done, and in my opinion, in a quality way, but it's completely different atmosphere. It really is Alien 1 versus Alien 2. And I think going forward, if Creative Assembly, and I hope it's a huge success, I hope it works both critically and commercially. I don't see a reason why we can't get that Aliens game by a quality developer as a follow-up.
No, I'm not saying don't do Aliens. I'm saying don't make it
he doesn't want to be a shooter.
Yeah, it wants to
be survival horror.
I mean,
I don't see why you can't have both. I don't see why you can't have a game. I don't see why you not even in the. I mean, you could do it in the same game if you had the developmental team to do it. But I would say Why not have a Halo game or an Aliens game that is shooter, whatever, and then have another one where like when you're going to focus on like the actual Aliens films and hark back to that, all those films should be survival horror films.
Yeah,
doing them
separately,
movie was.
Let's be honest though, gentlemen. Aliens Isolation is still a shooter. It's just got the shooting elements turned down to 1 or 2. That's not to say you can't amp the element.
That's what I'm saying. To slow the pace, like what it is, like less of a shooter and more.
There's more tension rather than action. Is what it was.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd say take multiple
gathering materials and all that kind of stuff. Make that the focus.
Truth be told, Jake just said, it's more tension as opposed to action. I'm trying to imagine now how a Jaws game would work. I think it'd be awesome.
Exactly. Compared to the one that they actually did.
Not very good. I don't like. Not everything needs to be a movie. Like you don't need to make. Like we don't need to see The Sound of Music, the game. Like some films and stuff like that.
And you just gave the person the idea for do that now. Thanks a lot.
You know what? If someone made The Sound of Music the game, I would just laugh. I would have nothing to say.
At the end of the day, and this is my opinion, and I know it's branching off a little, I think there is no story we couldn't do. It's just got to be done well.
There's going to be a Sound of Music Vita. The Sound of Music game is going to be a Vita exclusive because you spoke it into existence. Thank you.
Yes.
You know what?
Yes.
That might be the game that will save the Vita. Yeah, right. Never mind.
That was cool.